Hello again, welcome back. I got another full stash, so get to IDing some items. I was pretty lucky in the last 24 hours. I got a triple legendary drop here, so I'll save these towards the end, but those could all potentially be interesting. Let me fill up my bags and we'll get started. Alright, just numbers are too low. It's got a really nice life on hit and life steal compatibility here. This was one of the interesting things, either last video or the two videos before. I looked up this combination on a moderate weapon where it had I think it was in the 500 range in terms of DPS, and that combination was really attractive. It really jumped the price up. So something to keep an eye on. Really no numbers here. You've got double competing primary stats, and the armor's negligible. Decent dex roll, but you've got triple competing primaries and negligible life regen and a worthless poison resist. Boots, you're really going to want either movement speed or magic find or resist all. Those three potential affixes need to be in addition to a primary and a vitality or a life percentage. If you don't, you're really looking for a minimum of 4 positive affixes, 4 useful affixes on boots. Buyers are just too keen now. They're demanding a lot more for their gold, so mediocre boots don't cut it. Alright, two-handed staff with nothing great. Really low numbers here. Again. Again. The really quick things I'm scanning for when I see a low number weapon, just to kind of recover some of these bases, is a reduced level requirement that could potentially save an item that has low numbers, or if it's medium numbers in the 5s or 600s for a one-hander, or the 9 to 1000s for a two-hander, would be a socket, natural crit damage, some really positive affixes. Since the last session, I got a new helm, really expensive. I got a huge intellect roll here, and then very nice damage against elites affix, which I touched upon briefly last time. If you need to figure out how to get an idea of what that's worth to you, that 4%, take 4% of what your primary stat is, and that's going to give you an equivalent affix. I'm at almost 1900 intellect, so 4% of that would be 76 intellect almost, so like 75 intellect, which makes this this helm 325 intellect, which is enormous. Helms can go up to 300 for intelligence, but you're never going to find anything close to that if you want additional affixes, and you don't just buy all of your gold with real money. And then I got a new chest piece here with again a huge amount of intelligence, vitality, and resist all, which is really all I'm looking for. Anything beyond primary vitality and resist all on the shoulders, belt, pants, and chest is a really incredible bonus. Namely, magic find would be the main 5th affix, because you're much more likely to find a single resist to be your 4th, and then potentially magic find to be your 5th affix. Worthless. Worthless. It's interesting. I just see this gold message here. It's interesting to note there have been some really idiotic companies over the last day. They'll give a rate for like $10, and then if you buy double that, they're actually charging you more. I think they've maybe smartened up, but the last 24 hours they actually were increasing the rate at which you had to pay if you bought more from them, which is so counterintuitive to how customer supply and demand just basic economics works. It completely reversed the bulk rate notion. Okay, so you've got decent life on hit, you've got decent attack speed, but the numbers are just so low. So nothing's going to help this two-hander. If this was a one-hander with a 627, great. You could really do something with this. You could put a 70% crit chance gem in here and get a decent amount of gold. But again, some pretty nice stats, but the numbers just sink it. Again, the same thing. Again. You got double primaries here, but you do have a nice little fire resist and resist all. The problem is everything here has a low roll. There's nothing here even remotely approaching triple digits. So it's got what you're looking for. You know, even if no matter which one you take from strength or dex, you've got a primary, vitality, a single resist, and a resist all, which is great. But all of them are so low that 99% of the boots are going to be better than that on the auction house. This, I guarantee you, would be in the 5 to 12,000 gold range, if it's even selling at all. So this has got a significant amount of life on it when you add in the vitality and the 6% modifier, and a very high crit chance for helms. This is, I believe, this is as high as they go, 4.5%. I actually have this nice little link open on the other monitor. Let me just double check. I don't think I've ever seen anything above that. Yeah, Wizard Hat 4.5. Helms in general can go up to 6, but oh wait, maybe this wasn't even a, yeah, this wasn't even a Wizard Hat. Thought it was. I was looking at mine that I have it equipped. So yeah, this can go a little higher in a normal helm, but a lot of dex, decent amount of vitality when you add those two together, but the 2 affixes on a shoulders is just bare bones. Very, 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 very low. So we're getting into slightly better numbers for a one-hander. If this had some amazing affixes, it might work, but it's got strength for a demon hunter weapon, and it's a low natural crit with no socket. Everyone's tastes, everyone's you know, floor for what's acceptable in gear now is only going up. Even when somebody's leveling an alt, they have a preconceived notion of what is acceptable based upon them playing their main character, and it's clouding their judgment on what is acceptable for a brand new 60. So really, it's a jaded community. Your buyers are all going to have much higher standards. So you're going to see all the numbers rise. Numbers on the gear and numbers in the gold column. Everything's going to go up. Whole lot of nothing on this helm. There's a big announcement today. There's a whole bunch of blue postings that haven't been saying anything for almost 3 weeks now. So that was nice to see. There were some decent communications about what to expect for 1.04 patch, but a lot of it was so roundabout and basically saying, oh, but you might not get it until 1.1 as well. So there were no promises made, as to be expected, but they are acknowledging that they're going to fix auction house filters up to six different filters, canceling your auctions, a bunch of quality of life issues for the auction house that they actually haven't confirmed before. So that was nice to get some official word. Whether it's going to come anytime soon is anyone's guess. They just had a Blizzard quarterly stockholder call, and looks like the numbers are significantly down. So a lot of subscribers are being lost in this lull time where Diablo is festering, and people are still waiting for Mist of Pandaria in terms of Blizzard games. So their numbers are rapidly dwindling. Of course, they're expecting that just to bloat right back up again when they have new offerings, but in the time being, it makes this economy in D3 a little more volatile. These are moderate gloves. There's no life component, but it's definitely worth looking up. It's a really nice crit chance roll. It can go quite a bit higher, but the combination of a decent fire roll and the crit is worth getting a little gold out of. At the same time, these have no crit, but they do have the life for the bracer slot. So we'll take a look at this. Decent vitality roll and really low everything else. Nothing too sexy, no resist all, no sockets. Alright, let's go dump this stuff. Yeah, so I probably spent almost 40 million in the last 36 hours. So my liquid reserves are down quite a bit, but hopefully I'll get something worth a little bit. Oh, I got an incredibly nice ring. If it hasn't sold yet, I'll show it on the auction house portion of the video later. It was just a level 61 ring. I wasn't even saving it for the ID session, but it was ridiculous. I believe it had strength, vitality, life on hit, 4% crit chance, and there's a high life on hit roll too. I think like 165, 4% crit chance, and something else, maybe fire resist or resist all. Anyway, it was priced right around high teens, low 20s, so 20 million. I think I put it up for like 24 million. The next closest thing in the auction house was like 34, 35. So I'll put that up a few times before I lower it any. It's a pretty unique ring. So there's no crit and no resist all. What's here is decent, but there's no big roll on the intellect or vitality to warrant giving it a shot. Again, only two real affixes that matter here, and they're both low. Merely intellect on an amulet is not going to cut it. I mean, you can get it up pretty decent with a socket. It's not really worth putting a vitality gem in here so that it'll show up on people's search filters. To do it cheaply, the best you're going to be able to put in there is like a 38 vitality, and even then, it's not going to sell for anything. It's a nice damage modifier on there. Somebody's getting 28 weapon DPS out of it, but there's nothing else of value. So here again, that infamous combination of gold find and magic find that is appealing to two different buyer bases. Very, very, very small rolls on intellect and vitality, but it's got a wonderful combination of affixes and a very close to perfect roll in magic find, which skyrocket. Oh, that's what that strength ring had. It was 16 magic find that really just skyrocketed its value. But this is a definite moneymaker here. It's got super low values on intellect and vitality, but you could almost sell this merely off of the resist all, crit damage, and magic find. A little bit of life on hit, a little bit of attack speed, but the numbers are just way too low. Moderate. It's kind of a wasted dex and strength rolls here, but it's got a nice crit chance. It's got a middle of the road attack speed. I believe it goes up to 18% on quivers. I'll take a look at this one. Again, I'm still just not too knowledgeable on quivers. Real waste of boots here. Triple primary stats. They're all competing